Assuming butane gas at a certain temperature, X degrees centigrade, has an absolute temperature of T Kelvin, where T is equal to X plus 273 Kelvin. The question is asking us, A, to find the absolute temperature of butane at 36 degrees centigrade. Question number A. Now, the formula that has been given for us that expresses the difference or the relationship between degree centigrade and degree Kelvin is X plus 273. So bring it out. We have X plus 273. Now question A has told us that we should find the Kelvin when the temperature is 36 degrees centigrade. That means use 36 degrees centigrade to substitute X and add it to 273. Whatever you have is the absolute temperature in Kelvin. So we're going to have 36. I'm substituting X with 36 plus 273. Whatever I have now will be in Kelvin. 6 plus 3 will give you 9. 7 plus 3 will give you 10. Write 0, raise 1. 1 plus 2 will give you 3. That means the answer to that question, number A, is 309 Kelvin. Now question number B says this. If the absolute temperature of butane is 400 Kelvin, find its temperature in degrees centigrade. It's just the reverse of what we did in question number A. Question number B. What this means is that X plus 273 is now equal to the value that is given to us in Kelvin, 400. That's what it means. Now find the value of X. Subtract 273 from both sides. If you subtract 273 plus X plus 3, if you subtract 273 from X plus 273, you're going to have only X left in the left-hand side of the equation. And it's going to be equal to 400 minus 273. 10 minus 3 will give you 7. This will remain 9. 9 minus 7 will give you 2. This will remain 3. Minus 2 will give you 1. So this will now be the value of what the question in B is asking for. This is question number 2 on substitution. It says from the formula, y is equal to 7 minus 9x. A, find the value of x when y is 0. B, find the value of y when x is 0. Let's take A first. Question number A. The formula is y is equal to 7 minus 9x. When y is 0 means where you see y, substitute it with 0. It's not going to be 7 minus 9x. Move this 7 from the left-hand side of the equation to the right-hand, from the right-hand side of the equation to the left-hand side is going to give you minus 7. Remember, it was plus 7 in the right-hand side. So when you are moving it to the left-hand side, you change to minus. What you have left here is minus 9x. Divide both sides by minus 9. So you are going to have minus 7 all over 9, that is minus 9, is now equal to x. You can cancel the negatives. So you have 7 all over 9 is giving you the value of x. The B part of the equation, it says find the value of y when x is 0. B. The equation is y is equal to 7 minus 9x. X is 0. That means the equation becomes y is equal to 7 minus 9 times 0. Remember that 9x means 9 times x. Now that you're substituting a value of 0 for x, that means multiply 9 and 0. Y will be equal to 7 minus anything multiplying 0 is 0. If you subtract 0 from anything, you'll be left with that thing. That means 7 minus 0 is 7. Bring out the equation. We have to answer number A now. I is equal to PRT all over 100. The principal there here is 150,000. That is the money invested for that 4 years. So write 150,000. We're going to multiply it to the rate. The rate means the percentage, 5. And multiply it to the time the money was invested, that is 4 years. So all will be divided by 100. You can cancel this, so you have 1500 now times 5 times 4. Can you use a calculator? We have 150 times 20. 5 times 4 is 20, so we have 20 times 1,500. And it's giving us 30,000. That means the simple interest for investing that money for 4 years at 5% interest will give you 30,000. The B part of the question says that we should find the principal invested that brought a gain of 16,100 naira in 5 years at 7% per annum. Question number B. Now you're going to see that the same I is equal to PRT divided by 100. Now the I has been given in question number 2. Sorry, on the B part of the question, which says that I is 16,100. So use 16,100 to substitute I is equal to. You are looking for the principal, so put down P times the rate has been given there. The rate is 7%. So write 7 times the time was also given 5 years. It's going to give you 5 all over 100. This is all over 1. Cross multiply. This cm is not centimeters, but it's cross multiplication. 1 times all the things you have there will give you all the things you have there. P times 7 times 5 is 35. So write 35 instead of 7 times 5 to shorten the long grammar. Then multiply 16100 and 100. This will give you 35p. That's the meaning of p times 35. Is equal to, sorry, this is equal to not multiplication. Is equal to, if you multiply this to 100, just take 2 of the zeros of 100 and add to this. So you are going to have 16100 for this, then add that of 100. That is the value. At this junction, what I'm going to do is divide both sides by 35. You'll be left with P only in the left-hand side of the equation. And it's going to give you 1610000 divided by 35. So use a calculator now. Your calculator, 161,430. 161,000. 1, 6, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Divided by 35. It's giving us 46,000. So the principal that was invested is 46,000 naira. And that is the end of that question number B. The mass of a rectangular tank is given by M is equal to 1000 lbh, where M means the mass, L means the length, B means the breadth, and H means the height. Now the question. A said that we should calculate the mass of the tank if its length is 5 meters, breadth is 4 meters, and depth is 3 meters. Let's start with question A. The formula for the mass is 1000 lbh. That's the formula. M is the mass which question A is asking for. Now the length there has been given to be 5, so use 5 meters to substitute L. First of all, bring down 1000, then times L, which has been given to be 5, times the breadth, which is given to be 4, then times the depth, which is given to be 3. 1000 times 5 times 4 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. You don't need to go to your calculator, just watch this. 60 times 1000 means add the 3 zeros of 1000 to 60. So now gives you 60, then 1, 2, 3 kilograms. So this is the mass that question number A asked for. Now the B part of the question said we should calculate the depth of the tank if its length is 4 meters, the breadth is 3 meters, and the mass is 24,000 kilograms. Question number B. Our formula is M is equal to 1000 lbh. There, the mass has been given to us. So use 24,000. This 24,000 to substitute M. It's going to give you 1000 times the length there is 4. So use 4 to substitute L. The breadth is given to be 3. Use 3 to substitute B. Then the last but not the least, H has been given to B. Okay, H, which is the depth, is what the question asking for. Remember, it said calculate the depth. So that depth is represented by H. Go ahead, you have 24,000 is equal to 1,000 times 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times H will give you 12H. Now multiply 12H and 1,000. First of all, you still have 24,000. The left-hand side of the equation is equal to 12H times 1,000 will give you 12,000H. At this juncture, divide both sides by 12,000 so that you eliminate 12,000 from the left-hand side. So I'm going to have 24,000 all over 12,000 is now equal to H. You can cancel this, cancel this, cancel this. 12 into itself is 1, 12 into 24 will give you 2. That means the depth the question is asking for, which is represented by h, becomes 2 meters. The fifth question we have on substitution reads this. Said, if the formula for circumference C is given by C is equals to 2 pi r, where r is equal to the radius of the circle, and pi has this value, 22 all over 7. Question number 8 said that we should calculate the circumference of a circle of radius 7 cm. Question number 8. We have been given the formula for C, the circumference, to be 2 pi r. Now our r has been given to be 7. So our C will be equal to 2 divided by 1. I want to write everything in fraction form. Pi has been given the value 22 over 7. So substitute pi with 22 all over 7. Then times r, which the equation gave us the value to be 7. So we have 7 all over 1. You can cancel out this. You are left with 2 times 22. 2 times 22 will give you 44. That means the circumference of that circle is 44 centimeters. Question number B says that we should calculate the radius of a circle whose circumference is 22 centimeters. Question number B. The formula for circumference has been given to be C is equal to 2 pi r. In this case, C has been given to us to be 22. So use 22 and substitute C. It's going to be equal to 2 all over 1, and I wrote 2 in fraction form, times pi, which the equation says is 22 all over 7. I have 22 all over 7, then times r. R all over 1. Remember, the question said that we should calculate the radius. That is why you are left with r as the only unknown in the equation. This is all over 1. Everything bring in fraction form. 2 times 22 times r is going to give you 44 r all over 7, because 1 times 7 times 1 will give you 7. In the left-hand side, we have 22 all over 1. You can cross-multiply. Remember, this is not centimeters, but cross-multiplication in this discipline. Now, 7 times 22. First of all, 7 times 2 is 14. Write 4 and raise 1. 7 times 2 is another 14, plus 1 will now give you 15. It's now equal to 1 times anything is that thing. That means 1 times 44r will leave you with 44r. The next thing you do is divide divide both sides of the equation by 44, so that you eliminate the 44 you have here and be left with only r in the right-hand side of the equation. That is going to give you, only r will be here. You now have 154 divided by 44. And if you use a calculator and divide out, you discover that 154 divided by 44 is giving you 3.5. That means r is 3.5 centimeters, because all the value that has been given to us has been in centimeters. 3.5 centimeters. The sixth question on substitution is this. It says, assuming y is equal to 17 minus 6x, construct a table of values for values of y when x is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Constructing table of values takes this shape. First of all, bring down the equation. The equation is y is equal to 17 minus 6x. Now, you start from the first value of x. you write when x is equal to 0. That means you substitute 0 for x and find whatever that is left will be the value of y. That means y will be equal to 17 minus 6 times 0. Y will be 17 minus 0, because 6 times 0 is 0, and 17 minus 0 is 17. That's the first value. Second one, when x is equal to 1, the next value, when x is 1, you're going to see that from y is equal to 17 minus 6x, substitute x for y, as in put 1 wherever you see x. So you're going to have y is equal to 17 minus 6 times 1. And it's going to give you 17 minus 6 times 1 is 6. And 17 minus 6 will leave you with 11. The next one is when x is equal to 2. That is the next value. From y is equal to 17 minus 6x, substitute x for 2 in the equation. You'll be left with y is equal to 17 minus 6 times 2. It's going to give you 17 minus 6 times 2 is 12. And if you remove 12 from 17, you'll be left with 5. The next one is when x is equal to 3. The next after 2. The formula is y is equal to 17 minus 6x. It's going to give you 17 minus 6 times 3, because you must substitute x for 3. It's going to give you 17 minus 6 times 3 is 18. And if you subtract 18 from 7, you have minus 1 left. The next one is when x is equal to 4 now. The last one we did was 3. Your formula is y is equal to 17 minus 6x. Use 4 to substitute x. You're going to have 17 minus 6 times 4. It's going to give you 17 minus 6 times 4 is 24. If you subtract 17 from 24, you'll be left with 7. And that 7 is going to be negative 7. The next is 5, which is the last. When x is equal to 5, your equation is y is equal to 17 minus 6x. Whenever you see x, replace it with 5, so you'll be left with 17 minus 6 times 5. And 6 times 5 is 30, so you have 17 minus 30. If you remove 17 from 30, you'll be left with 13. That means your y will be minus 13. These are the corresponding values of y when x are the given values. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you come to the table of value. You draw the table of value. You have values of x and values of y. Divide the table into 2. These are the values of x and the corresponding values of y. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. market them. From what you solved, you discover that when x was 0, you found out that y was 17. So write 17 here. When x was 1, your y was 11. Sorry, what we did here is 0, 1, 2, 3. This should be 0, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, then the last one, 5. The value started from 0, not from 1, okay? So when x was 0, y was 17, correct? When x was 1, y was calculated to be 11. When x was 2, y was calculated to be 5. Write 5 here. When x was 3, y was calculated to be minus 1. When x was 4, y was calculated to be minus 7. The last but not the least, when x was 5, y was calculated to be minus 13. So we have 5 and minus 13. So this is the table of value. That's what we call this. Call it table of values. This is the 7th question we have on substitution in change of subject formula. And the question says this, says the amount of petrol P liters left in a bike's tank after traveling a distance for 3 hours is given by this formula. P is equal to 63 minus 10T. Then question number 8 says find the amount of petrol left after traveling for 2.5 hours. Question number 8. The formula that shows the amount of fuel left after traveling for a particular time is given by P is equal to 63 minus 10T. Now the time has been given to be 2.5. That means P is equal to 63 minus 10 times the time, 2.5. This time. Now multiply out P, this is P, is equal to 63 minus 10 times 2.5 gives you 25. Subtract 25 from 63. You'll be left with, remove 1 from here, put you have 13. 13, if you subtract 5, you'll be left with 8. This will remain 5. Subtract it from 8, you have 3 left. That means the amount of liters of fuel that will be left when that bike has traveled a distance of 2.5 hours is 38 liters. Now question number B says that we should calculate the time the bike traveled if it had 18 liters of fuel left or 18 liters of petrol left. Now we have been given the amount of fuel left, that is P, in this equation now. We have been given P. Then we are asked to calculate T. Question number B. From our equation, P is equal to 63 minus 10T. We have been given P to be 18 liters. So use 18 and substitute P. It's going to be equal to 63. Bring that 63 minus 10T. You are looking for T. Now, subtract 63 from both sides so that you eliminate 63 from here. And you'll be left with only minus 10T in the right-hand side of the equation. So we're going to have 18 minus 63 in the left-hand side of the equation will now become 10T minus 10T. Because what you have here already is minus 10T. If you subtract 63 from 18. It just minus what you will get by subtracting 18 from 63. I want to subtract 18 from 63. The only thing is that whatever we have will be minus. Remove 1 and put here, you have 13. If you remove 8 from 13, 5 will remain. This will remain 5. 5 minus 1 will give you 4. So we have minus 45 is equal to minus 10t. Now, divide both sides by minus 10 so as to eliminate minus 10 from the right hand side of the equation. So it's going to give you minus 45 divided by minus 10 will now be equal to t. Minus will first of all cancel minus. 10 divided 45 will give you 4.5 hours. And that is the time it took to travel and have 18 liters of fuel left in the tank of the bike. Then question number 6 says that how long will it take for the bike to run out of petrol? It's simply asking when P will be 0. That is when the fuel or the petrol left in the tank of the bike becomes 0. What will be the time? It's a very simple thing. Let's take number C. Remember our equation says P is equal to 63 minus 10t. In that question, P is 0 now. Because if the bike has run out of petrol, that means there is no petrol in the tank. That means P is now 0. So P is 0 and is equal to 63 minus 10t. Subtract 63 from both sides, you're going to have minus, that is 0 minus 63 will now be equal to minus 10t. In the left-hand side, you have minus 63 is equal to minus 10t. Divide both sides by minus 10 so as to eliminate minus 10 from the right-hand side of the equation. So we'll be left with minus 63 all over minus 10 is equal to p. Minus will first of all cancel minus. 10 divided 63 will give you 6.3 hours. And that is the value of t. That means it will take 6.3 hours for the bike to be on traveling for the fuel it has to get exhausted. This is the next question we have on substitution. This question says that from a height h meters, a horizon could access a distance d kilometers as summarized in the formula. H is equal to 2 all over 25 d squared. A horizon is an instrument used in viewing objects at distances. Now, this is the formula of the height where the horizon will be and the distance it can access. That means there is a relationship between the height of the horizon and the distance it could access from that height. Now, question number 1 says that we should calculate the height at which a ship that is 12.5 kilometers could be visible by the horizon. Take number 1, we have, number A. The equation is h is equal to 2 all over 25 d squared, where h is the height of the horizon and d is the distance it can access. So if you look close in question number A, discover that we have been given the distance of the ship to be 12.5. That means use 12.5 and substitute d. You'll be able to calculate the height h, which the question is asking for. Simply, this is going to be 2 all over 25 times the distance, 12 and a half. 12 and a half is 12.5. Then all over 1. Remember, squared. This is going to give you 2 times 12.5 squared divided by 25. We are going to make use of our calculator. First of all, 12.5 squared. 12.5 times 12.5. Sorry. 12.5 times 12.5. This is giving us, it will now be 2 times 12.5 squared gave us 156.25. Then everything all over 25. Multiply 2 and 156.25 times 2 is giving us 312.5, now divided by 25. Divide that in by 25. You have 12.5. That means 12.5 meters. That means at a distance of the horizon of 12.5 meters, a ship or whatever object at a distance of 12.5 could be assessed. The B part of the question says, what is the distance of the horizon from the top of an empty end mask that is 200 meters high? Question number B. Our equation is, our formula is h is equal to 2 all over 25 times d squared. In this case, we have been given the height to be 200 meters. That means use 200 to substitute h. What this means is 2 times d squared all over 25. And if you write this over 1, that means you have changed it to a fraction form. At this juncture, you can cross multiply. You have 200 times what you have below in the right hand side times 25. It will now be the same thing as 2 times d squared times 1, which will give you 2d squared. Remember that d is the unknown. So you are going to divide both sides of the equation by 2 so as to eliminate these 2. If you do that, you'll be left with only d squared in the right hand side of the equation, and in the left hand side you have 200 times 25 divided by 2. 2 can divide itself to give you 1, divide 200 to give you 100. 100 times 25 will give you 2,500 is equal to d squared. That means the square root of 25,000 will give you the distance which they are. And the square root of 2,500 is 50. That means 50 becomes the distance that question number 2 is asking, when it says, what is the distance of the horizon from the top of an empty end mask 200 meters high?